Welcome to Our Ventura TV. My name is MB Hanrahan, and today my guest is Jim Rice. He is the Executive Director and President of the Bell Arts Factory in Westside Ventura. Jim, tell us a little bit about Bell Arts Factory today and what got you there.
Well, it was established by the Addison family almost 8 years ago now.
Wow.
Yeah, 8 or 9 years ago. It was a converted mattress factory. It was an employer here in Ventura and then closed down. Like many things that made things in this country, eventually we stopped making things. And so they had this big, beautiful building, and I believe that you might have even been involved in the original concept.
One of the very first artists there, yes.
Yeah, and so to me it's brilliant. It's a brilliant use of a space. It's a brilliant use of a space that is needed in an area that needs it.
So now, though, it's a nonprofit, is my understanding,
yeah,
and there are artist studios there, but that's really only a part of it. They're like almost like tenants. What else goes on at Bell Arts, just in case there's someone who has not visited us and doesn't know?
Well, when I originally came to Bell Arts, it was a consultant, as a consultant to the board, because it's about sustainability. You know, it is an organization that needed, like everything else, to stay in business.
And the business is?
The business is changed a little bit since I took over. It has always been a good vision, but the practices and systems implementation was a little bit weak because of time and the commitment it takes to do something like that. And so the first thing I did was try and implement a sustainable system so you can stay in business. And we kind of changed our whole outlook on what kind of an organization we were. The perception was, inaccurate as it was still a perception in this community that it was just a place that housed artists, that a place that artists went to paint and avoid real jobs.
So they think.
And all that, you know, the stereotypical concepts and beliefs about art communities and stuff, and how it devalues it. I want to value it. I want to put it on the forefront because it is such an integral and important part of a community to have an artist community.
So nonprofit implies a lot of things, but why don't you go into some of the ways that Bell Arts as a organization interfaces with the community? What does it provide?
Well, the first thing we did was we changed our mission statement, basically simplified it. It had a lot of catchwords, a lot of words that nonprofits use for grants and for impressing people that can help you stay in business and sustain, and it's just not my style. We changed it and simplified it because I believe we are a community organization that happens to do art. We're not an artist organization that does community. We're in the heart of the avenue on the west side. We have an important role. We have a significant role. We are the place that people come to help or to get help. And that's not bad for an artist organization. So I believe that we use art as a way to impact lives and make our community better.
What would be an example of some, I know that things change, but what would be an example of some of the events, organizations that come in and out of Bell Arts using the facility, or that we're like an umbrella organization for?
And we've been recognized for those by the city, and we're thankful for that in grant money, and with the Smith Foundation, who also gave us money to sustain our programs. We run a myriad and a multiple number of programs that people are going, is that art? Yes, it's art. Anytime, see, here's what I believe. Art evokes emotion.
Okay.
Good art, bad art, evokes emotion. And emotion evokes action. And action evokes change. And that's what you painted on the outside of the building.
True.
It said, be the change you want to be in, be the change you want to be in the world.
Gandhi quote.
Yeah, and so that's how you do it. Art evokes emotion. It stimulates people. It evokes thought, and critical thought. And so we simply use that to do meaningful work in the community. We're artists. That's the true calling of an artist.
Right.
And so how lucky are we? And so we're surrounded by artists and creatives with that side of the brain that works that way. And yet our work is very systematic in its approach to impact our community for the better. So we do programs like we teach underprivileged kids, because our sponsorship and our partnership with the Harmony Project, how to play the violin and the cello and the clarinet. I mean, that's a beautiful thing.
Right.
I mean, some of those instruments cost more than their family made that year.
Right.
You know, and you start thinking of that significance. Culturally, we protect things like folklorico dancing and danza azteca, and those projects that celebrate the culture of the Avenue and the West Side and Tortilla Flats and things back in the day, and where they're home, where they come. That's important. Because we're in a heal zone, we're in a zone that has a poverty rate that's a little greater than other parts of Ventura. And so we have to recognize, and so I chair a committee, and we are on a proud member of the HEAL Zone, which is a Kaiser grant that deals with the issues of being poor and unhealthy, and what we can do to change that. So, as an example, we tore out all the shrubbery and all the plants and things at Bell Arts. We planted food.
Right.
That food's for anybody who needs it. And we're teaching people how to grow their own food. And now we have a kids garden brigade that sprung out of that where young kids come and they learn how to grow food and how to appreciate food and how to eat healthier. We have an obesity rate of a little over 80% for kids under 15 on the Avenue, on the West Side. It's a significant number. Why should we care about that? We care about that because we're artists. And that's what artists do, is they care. And then they put a picture to it, they put a face to it, and then they were able to deal with it, and then we share that message with everybody else.
So, what's your personal philosophy about overcoming negative stereotypes? I mean, I live on the Avenue. There's beauty in the Avenue. There's beauty in the people. It's an area, and yet sometimes people still have negative negative stereotypes about one of the more beautiful parts of our city, Ventura. What's your philosophy about reimagining yourself or reimagining a place?
Boy, I see it in its embryonic state, even though as old as it is. I see it as a new beginning for the Avenue. So I see it as opportunity. I see it as the heart of Ventura. Don't make any mistake about that. It's not downtown in my mind. It's right on the Avenue. We're right in the middle of it. That is the core, and that is the history, and that is the heart of Ventura. It always has been historically. Yes. And then it got neglected and it got moved away from. It pains me when I hear some of the things about the Avenue that I hear. It is strictly, in my mind, it's been ignored a little bit by the city, by the powers that be. It's changing. That is changing. Yes. It is the area of growth, and the future is all going to come to the Avenue, come to the West Side. We should be involved with that change, what it changes to, because I don't want to lose what's so special about the Avenue.
Not change in gentrification, but change in...
we don't want to see little Pasadena and the Avenue. You want to celebrate what's there, the good parts, and eliminate the parts that need to go away.
So it sounds like pretty much uplifting people and helping them uplift themselves by getting in touch with culture, getting in touch with possibilities that maybe what people weren't even aware of.
I don't think that you have any more problem walking down the Avenue. I do it a lot, daytime and nighttime. You know, there are misconceptions about gangs and about things and about violence and all those kind of things. Unless you're a gangster, you shouldn't really worry about it. It's true. It's a quantifiable fact. It's not. You know, there's nobody being injured and hurt on the West Side that's not involved in something on the downside.
Okay.
You know?
Right.
At least that's my opinion.
No problem. Any ideas or theories or ways to implement more of a flow from, people rush to downtown, they get dumped off of downtown at California Street, and what's going to get them over the hill to see the art, to meet the artist, to see the people, to see the beauty, besides, well, the ocean, of course. But
when I first came here, I was one of the original founding board members of the DVO, which is the Downtown Ventura organization, is now the DVP, as part of a PBID process in the area. Our mission and our goal at that time was called Clean and Safe. The reason we taxed ourselves downtown in order to do things in a city with tough economic times was to make it an area that was clean and safe. If you have clean and safe, everything else is doable.
Yeah, and intuitive almost. The people would just go, oh yeah, what about that? Or
yeah,
I've heard about the Bell Arts.
But you could have the best restaurant in the world, but if somebody doesn't feel clean and safe, going there, you're out of business. You could have the best business in the world, but it is an essential part of your peace, of your ability to go do business and commerce and recreate if you feel clean and safe. We have to take what was done very successfully downtown, I feel, to a degree, and move it up the avenue. We just need the effort.
Yeah, because the Conservancy organization is cleaning up the river bottom. We know that.
Beautiful parkway back there.
Yeah, developing properties, and certainly artists have always been there and are actually opening up spaces that are more gallery-like, actually, and open to the public. I guess I'm saying not just their own personal studios. And then restaurants open up. I mean, they come and go, but they're becoming destinations. That's what I'm seeing.
Yeah,
so,
there are some characteristics of the avenue that can't be replicated anywhere else in the city.
People want to see them. They want that. There's
some really cool houses. There's some cool neighborhoods, cool streets, cool building, and there's some interesting history. And with that comes opportunity. You know, there's a neighborhood in San Diego called Hillcrest that I was down there back in the day, down in San Diego, my hometown, and I watched it develop from this economically challenged and kind of a depressed area to one of the most beautiful pieces of real estate and desired places and expensive places to live now.
Downtown LA.
And they're the same homes. They're the same small craftsman and adobe homes. They're the same neighborhoods. They're the same feel. And what happened is little boutique shops and independently owned shops and little restaurants and all those things started to come, and they started to fix the neighborhood up, one block at a time. And that's what it takes. And you know, we have some things in the works through other organizations that I'm involved with, and for just me as a guy that cares about the avenue, and bringing some resources together to do just that, to clean up our avenue, to clean up the west side, and to talk about safety and cleanliness in the park and all kinds of things that we have coming. There's a lot of opportunities. But people that don't come to the west side and the avenue are missing something special because there's some really interesting, good things there. And Bell Arts is one of them.
So your vision, last shot, what would you like to see? What would you like to see? What would be like a specific?
I want to see this vibrant, incredible artistic community just take roots and say we're here and we're part of it. I want to see murals. I want to see art, but I want to see people walking on the street with their kids. I want to see the park full. I want to see bike riding like crazy. I want to see safety, and I want to see clean. And I want to see, you know, we have all this talent. We're just sitting on this hotbed of talent that we could change the face of this whole community. I mean, it could be this where you drive down the street, go, look at this. Look how cool this place looks.
Well, there's so many young people. It just seems like if they don't see something,
we should have surf shops. We should have all those
serving
things.
them right there, not
exactly.
across town, but right there.
Exactly, and not to the detriment of downtown.
Right.
And it doesn't have to be an either or, and it's an extension of. It's down the street, for criminy sake. It doesn't. The Ventura doesn't end at the museum.
Well,
or their mission.
Exactly, like on an open art walk or a night. People want to walk here and walk there and walk here, not get in the car and drive for half an hour.
You know, the best thing I hear on a first Friday, when we open our doors on a first Friday event, is all the people go, I had no idea. This is so cool. And then you see them week after week, and they bring their friends back. And our numbers are growing for our visitors like crazy. So it's working. It's a little tedious and it's a little time consuming, but we have incredible art. We have music, we have food.
We have it all.
We have it all.
So, to let people know, is there any kind of a phone number or a website you'd like to give out before we wrap this up?
We have an existing website. We're building a new one that we launched this Friday.
Okay.
It's bellarts.org, bellartsfactory.org. And you can go to that and it'll automatically switch to the new one when it launches. Okay. But all the information about classes, about events, about where we are, or just come visit during the day. I mean, come see us. We're there. And take a tour. Guided or unguided.
I'll tell them that they should ask for Jim.
That's why I'm there.
And Jim, thank you. Thank you so much for being here.
I'm honored. Thank you.
And thank you for joining us on Our Ventura TV. My name is MB Hanrahan, and we'll see you next time.